How's it going, everyone? BlazeX344 here, bringing you a nice little rant video on why I think PC gaming is way better than console gaming. Now, this video is heavily biased and mainly made for a friend of mine called Nick, who is a console gamer and refuses to switch over to PC gaming, so this is a video on trying to convince him to buy a PC before Black Friday comes. Now, I'm not going to waste any time. This is going to be a pretty short video, so let's get started. Reason number one on why I think PC gaming is better than console gaming is simply because of the performance and the graphical settings. So we can take a look at the PC and the console, comparing it next to each other in terms of quality, and the graphics on the PC are certainly better. Now we can all agree on that. Adding on, there is also power performance, so this means that there are higher frame rates for the PC than the console. Now I have included a link in the description below that consoles max only 30 frames per second, and which Ubisoft calls it quote unquote a cinematic experience. We can take a look at the PC's 60 frames per second average, or higher, maybe even up to 100 at times, where 30 FPS and 60 FPS is a huge difference. So you can go check that out. It's 30 FPS versus 60 FPS.com. It's a website that helps you look at the difference between them two. We can clearly see that the console's frame rate is lower than the PC, and it's all inside the hardware that the PC has superiority in. Now the graphics settings in the PC is much better and takes in more power, while the console takes in, well, not a lot. So that is also one reason why, but isn't it also really expensive? Well, not at all. Actually, PC is much cheaper than the consoles in a long run. Now, why is that? Now, if you're thinking of buying a console, it's about $500, let's say that, okay? So, we can buy a PC equivalent price for the console with better performance and graphical settings. So right now, you can see that there is a $556 PC that can run Assassin's Creed 4, Battlefield 4, Titanfall, all in around 60 frames per second. So you can go check that out in the description. It's also custom built, and it's also the same price as consoles and runs way better than the console. Now, if you're thinking about getting a $800 PC or an $1,000 PC build, it's still going to be cheaper in the long run. Do you know why? Because the games and the online services are much cheaper, and the PC doesn't even have Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, or no subscription fees to play online multiplayer at all. So what about the games? An average console game costs about $60, including the PS4 or Xbox One. Now, when you're talking about PC, the average is $40, and also with a bunch of Steam sales, GOG.net, Humble Bundle, all of that sales, indie games, free games, so many, it's going to be much cheaper, and you're going to get a better play experience. So there are more and more games for the PC, and the console is all $60, or if you're lucky, you can get like a $30 one, which is like used. Now, you're also going to have to pay for online services for the Xbox and the PlayStation. Now, Xbox Live, it's around $20. I'm not sure. Same goes for PS4. I think it's actually much cheaper, but you're gonna still have to pay money for Xbox Live and the PlayStation Network. While in PC, it's all free. Online services are all free. Despite paying for internet, which everybody should have. Adding on, your PC is very customizable. So basically, when you're buying a PC or when you're building a PC, you can choose what goes in, what goes out, what is inside, what it does. So basically, you get to choose what parts you want inside your PC, how it performs to your satisfaction. So for example, the graphics card, your hard drive, everything. So if you want a $300 PC, that is okay. If you want a $1,000 PC, that is okay. You can overkill it. You can do anything you want, really. From any price range, it still runs better than the console. Now also, while you're in game, you can also mod your game to your satisfactory level. So when you're getting bored of a game, you can mod it so that there are more characters, more things to do, whereas in console, it is illegal. You cannot mod the game, you cannot open up your console, and it is very hard to do things or customize your playing experience on the console. So what if your computer is slowing down? You can either do two things. If you can either open up your computer back up again, upgrade the graphics card, upgrade the processor, whatever you need to do, or you can also overclock your computer. Now keep in mind, you cannot overclock nor open up anything in your console legally. Whereas the PC, you can just open it up or you can overclock it. So what is overclocking? So overclocking is this thing where you open up a program or your graphical settings, and then you can higher up the amount of watts the computer allows it to go. So then you can higher up the fan speed, you can higher up the core settings, etc., to make it run faster after a couple years of playing, so it will be good as new. And all of that stuff you cannot do in the console. Now, in terms of hardware, what about the keyboard and mouse? What if you don't like the keyboard and mouse? Well, that is a-okay. You can also hook up an Xbox One or a PS4 controller, wired or wireless, into your PC. There are many programs that does this, and it really optimizes your player experience. Now, what if you like console games? What if you want, some PS3 games, some PS2 games, Wii games, etc.? Well, that is no problem. You can get emulators onto the PC. Now, what is this? What is an emulator? Well, for those who don't know, you can play Nintendo DS games, you can play Wii games, you can play PS3 games, all on your PC. For example, I want to play Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Well, certainly you can connect your GameCube controller onto the PC, get an emulator on, and you can play Super Smash Bros. Brawl on your PC, make it run faster, etc. Also adding on, in the PC there is a huge variety of games, way more than the consoles, by the way. And also with all this exclusive content only for the PC, that makes it that PC is better for gaming. Because quality, quantity, these are the things that PC gaming has. Now we can take a look at these games like Unturned, Arma 3, etc. These games are made exclusively sorry about that, for the PC. And also there are more indie developers that are putting their game up for free, $5, $20, very cheap, up on the internet, so for people to play. So if you're running out of money, or if you just want to play something for free, you can always get these indie games or really cheap games from Steam sales, Humble Bundles, all of these. It's really awesome, and you don't really find that on consoles now. Now adding on, you can also play some web games. They're not dead yet. But the point is that PCs has more exclusive content and games than the consoles. Let's say that you are a content creator or a YouTuber. So a YouTuber, you're going to need to capture your game or video game, whatever you're doing. Depends if you're a gaming YouTuber or not, but you're going to be needing to, capture your game or, filming and then editing, right? So let's take, for example, consoles. Video editing or video game capturing on the consoles is actually really hard. You're going to have to be paying for about $150 for a good video game capturing card, like the HD PVR or the Elgato Game Capture HD. Those are around $150 and are very expensive. And you're also going to have to hook up the HDMI cables or all the audio cables and stuff like that, put it onto the computer, start editing. Alright, I've done it before. It's a really complicated process. But then with the PC, download Fraps or download an equivalent free recording software or a cheap one like $20, and then you can start rolling away, start recording. There, boom, F9, there, you're done. You have your video file, put it onto a video editor, upload onto YouTube. That's it. Now it's very cost efficient and very easy to do, especially when the PC is with you for editing too. Now we also forget that the PC is also not just a gaming system. PC can also handle Photoshop, Premiere, After Effects, Flash, Dreamweaver, all that good stuff, Eclipse, IntelliJ, Chrome, everything. Alright, everything you do on the computer that's internet based is basically a PC. It's a really great tool. You can do it for school, you can have for family, movie night, alright, anything. Now Xbox is starting to integrate, you know, more TV shows and more sports networks onto the console. When on the PC, search it up on the internet, boom, boom, you're there. All right, Netflix, everything, stuff like that. So, you know, also adding on with the better gaming capabilities, PC also runs everything. All right, you can do anything else that you do with computers on a PC. Now, if you have not been listening to me for the past, I don't know, 6-7 minutes, then I'll create a nice little conclusion for you guys. So basically, why PC is better than the console, in my view. 1, there is more customizability. God damn it. There's more customization, as in modding games, you know, upgrading your hardware so that it runs to your satisfactory level, overclocking everything, okay? You get more customization. So number 2, it has better power and graphical settings. So there is more power in the PC, everything runs faster and everything looks better on the PC. Next, it is also much cheaper than the consoles. Now, I have explained before that there are online services, video game capturing programs, games, they're all more cheaper than the console, or sometimes even free. Next, there are also a wide range of games on the PC for, you know, indie developers that are making games, and more support for the PC gaming community. Last but not least, it is not just a video game editing it is not just a video game system, it is also for your personal use or for your job, your hobbies, anything. Alright, anything you do with computing is on your PC, and you can't really do that with the console. So that wraps up my little rant that probably could have, you know, offended a couple people. I'm expecting a lot of hate in the comment section below, but you know, whatever. That wraps up my video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. BlazeX344 out, and see you next time.